Welcome. This is our last video on analysis support using Microsoft Excel 2007. In this video, we're going to do two things. First, we're going to determine if there is a relationship between the two variables in our study. Now, what we mean by relationship is that the variables can either move together consistently. In other words, when anxiety goes up, score goes up, we call that a positive relationship. Or the relationship could be that when one goes up, the other goes down. We call that a negative relationship. And the last choice is when they never move together consistently at all. We call that no relationship. After we analyze the relationship between the two variables, we also call that correlation. We are also going to show you how you can present your data in terms of the different categories. Like how many scores did I get between 0 and 59, 60 and 69, etc. That will be the last thing we look at. So let's go ahead and go over to Microsoft Excel. We're going to go over to sheet 1. Now what I need to do is I need to move some more data over. So I want everything is in the C column and the D column. I'm going to move that over because I'm going to analyze it by looking for the correlation. It's right here. Now I click on data, which is already highlighted, and I click on data analysis. I want to see the correlation between the two. And so I have to set this up. I tell the computer what to highlight, which is everything right there. A1 and B1 all the way down to 31. Columns is highlighted. Labels in first row needs to be checked. Now I need an output range. I have not selected that yet. So I go here and I just pick something simple all the way up to the top, D2. Everything is done. Remember, this will tell me the strength of the relationship between my two variables in this study. And so there you have it. You can see here that score, when it's compared to score, is a 1. One thing I forgot to mention is that a correlation can be between -1 to +1. It is what we call standardized. So -1 means a very strong negative relationship. One variable is increasing while the other is decreasing consistently. +1 is a sign of a very strong positive relationship when they both move up at the same speed, very, very similarly. Now, our score here, when you compare score to score, you get 1 because you're comparing the variable score to itself, which is of course going to be a perfect relationship. Same thing when you compare anxiety to anxiety. It's a perfect relationship. But our goal, our research question was, is there a relationship between score and anxiety? And if you look at the column here, you can see that the answer is 0.33. So a moderately weak positive relationship. In other words, they both increase together a little bit. It's not a very strong relationship. Now, what makes a relationship strong is kind of defined differently in different statistical textbooks. Normally, as you get above 0.4 is considered strong, moderately strong, and then beyond that. So here we have 0.3. There's some sort of a relationship there, but not very strong. So to answer our question, you can see the answer right here, yes, but a moderate relationship. One weakness that we have to point out when we do correlations using data analysis toolpack in Excel, it doesn't do a statistical test. In other words, to determine if this is significant statistically. So in order to do that, you have to use SPSS or some other form of software. But there is some sort of a relationship here. Now, the last thing that we're going to do today, or the last thing we're going to do in these videos, is we're going to organize our data here and present it. So I'm going to take my score table and I'm going to put it in a new sheet, sheet 5. And I want to display my information. How many scores did I have between like 0 and 60, 0 and 79, etc., whatever? The computer will tell me. And now there's one other thing I need to do. If you remember when we talked about the histograms and determining how many genders, we had to do what we call a bin range, or just a range for short. And so I had to input some values here. Now, how do I know what values to use? Well, it depends on the circumstances and your preferences. I know from looking at my data that I have almost no scores below 59. So I'm going to put my first bin range at 59. Then go to 69, 79, 89, and then 100. Those are going to be my ranges. So now the computer will calculate the scores from 0 to 59 from 60 to 69, from 70 to 79, from 80 to 89, and from 90 to 100. It'll tell me all these values in a second. Now, I have to go back, use my histogram here. Click on that, click OK. I have to use my values. So my first value is going to be A1 to A31. We're just going to highlight that. My bin range is going to be right here in the second column. So, done with that. Labels is already highlighted. I need an output range. So I'll put my output range right here at D2. I want to have a chart output. In other words, it'll tell me specific values. It'll make more sense when you see it. And now we click OK. And there you have it. Now, this is not complete. Our real range is for the first one is going to be 0 to 59. And there were no scores there. Our next range is going to be 60 to 69. In other words, there should be in this table somewhere 5 values between 60 and 69. Next, we're going to do 70 to 79, 80 to 89, and 90 to 100. That's how it should look like. And of course, you never have a more. You just get rid of that. So this is what it should look like. And this is test scores. Now, we can check this. One way to do this is you just highlight the column, click on data, click sort. It asks you a question, say continue with the current selection and sort. All right, let's see if our values are correct. So for 60 to 69, we have 5 values. One, here we go 63, 2, 3, 4, 5. Correct. You can see it right there. Those are our values. And so this is one way to display your information in a nice, beautiful table. People can see what's going on, and it looks very, very good. And also, you could honestly just delete this whole column right here and just have these values right here. Nice and pretty. Everyone can see it. It looks good. We're going to do the same thing now with anxiety. So anxiety, highlight the whole thing, copy. I'm going to make a new sheet for this one. This is going to be sheet number 9, I guess. And then we're right here. Now, this time through, I'm going to sort my data first so that I can see it. So it looks like I go from 18 up to 50. So we're going to go ahead now and do our data analysis. We want a histogram again. And so we want A1 to A31. The bin, oh, I forgot to put a bin range in. Sorry about that. So I have to go back, put my bin range in. So range. So we're going to start with 9, then 19, 29, 39, and of course 50. That's how we'll do this. Now, we go back to data analysis, histogram. Everything is set up pretty good. A1 to 31 is the input range. The bin range is the same because we're using a different sheet this time. We can have the same output area. Chart output is good. And we click OK. And so you can see our results. 0 to 9, there's nothing. That should be expected. 10 to 19, there's 1 value. Oh. Why did it? Okay, 20 to 29, 30 to 39, and 40 to 50. Now for 10 to 29, Microsoft Excel got confused and thought that I was talking about dates. So I just put the word to there just to make it simple for now. You can fix that in Excel, but we're not going to cover that. And so there you have it. These are my values. Now, for this one, the bar should not be separate. This is actually a histogram. There's a way to fix this in Excel. Format, data series, and you want them to overlap a lot. So you can kind of look at the values here and play with that on your own. But there should be Oh, you want to use the gap. You want no gap. That's what it is. See, that's how it should look. They should be all next to each other. And this is, again, if you're familiar with statistics, you'll understand this. So anxiety. And that's how it should look. Of course, we misspelled range. We can fix that right here. And now everything is good. So this is how you display your data. I need to also fix this over here in my other one. I need to have the no gap between the different data points. So I'm going to fix this for the test score one. There should be no gap at all. There you go. So that is it. You know everything you need to know to do some basic analysis using Microsoft Excel. You know how to find the means, the median, the mode. You know how to find if there's a relationship. You know how to display your data. You can figure out how many men and women are. And this is just the beginning. You can also determine, for the graphs that we just did, you can also do those same graphs for just men, just women. You know, there's no end to it. But this is just to get you started and to prepare you and to help you with the analysis that you're doing in your classes and in your study. So we hope that this was useful. And we're thankful that you were able to be a part of this experience in understanding how to use Microsoft Excel. Thank you.